Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live for Financial Fitness Friday, and Dave wants to go over what's going on in the markets, and I think it's a great time. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of context before I say anything. I actually think our economy, like small businesses, the majority are having trouble. Okay, so I want to tell you that fundamentally, underneath all the noise, I think our economy is in trouble. Why do I say that? Well, I see a ton of business owners. Okay. I either help people in extreme growth or startup or acquisition, or I help people that need help, right? And so the most of what I do is extreme growth and growth type strategies, but I've seen more and more rescue type stuff. Okay, and it's not just the last month. I would tell you it's probably since it's probably been going on for about 9 months. Okay. So that's the first part of that equation. And the second part, we've seen gold and silver skyrocket to all time highs and then fall precipitously. Okay. I mean, big fall on gold and silver. All right. Same thing. We saw Bitcoin hit all time highs and now it's down over 50%. If you were watching it yesterday, it actually got to about 60,000, which is insane. Okay. Up from a high of 126, 127. All right. So what is going on? Why are all these things that usually don't move? Bitcoin usually moves, but why is gold and silver acting this way? What does it tell you? Well, I'm going to tell you guys. It shows that the past, okay, everyone is getting away from the dollar. Okay. The dollar is losing a ton of purchasing power, right? At the same time, I think that the powers that be are trying to switch over to a completely digital system, which I have said would be a horrible idea. Okay. And I think what's going on now, it was very strategic that in that first drop of files for Schmepstein, okay, um, it had him connected to Bitcoin. All right. If you know the technology, you know how it works, it's still not something I think is going to impact it long term. I actually think it was strategically dropped because they want to get the price of Bitcoin as low as possible. They want to get the gold and silver lower. They want to get hard assets like real estate lower. And then what they're going to do is they're going to cycle all of their cash into those hard assets, into crypto, into gold and silver, into real estate. And then they're going to switch over the system because our dollar is basically going to be worthless. Okay. That's the play that I think that they are trying to run. Right. Is it very tinfoil hat? Not really. Not when you look at it. Not when you look at all the pieces and how everything's moving and how it seems like everything is designed. Okay. This is just going to be another large transfer of wealth from the poor and the middle class up into the elites. And so, why does it matter? Why talk about it? Well, because if you know it's happening and there's nothing theoretically that we can do to stop it, well, you should ride the train as well. Okay. Because here's what's going to happen if the dollar gets into hyperinflation, okay, or the dollar loses all its value, you have no purchasing power, right? Whereas if you're sitting on gold, silver, hard assets, okay, if you're sitting on Bitcoin or XRP, okay, things that will have a value, you are going to be in a much better position. And you still have things of value, things that people need, right? People are going to always want gold and silver. There's a predetermined price for it, right? It's a hard physical asset. Bitcoin, if they make that transfer over, where do you think all that money and wealth is going to go? It's going to go into Bitcoin and it's going to go into XRP. I would not be messing around with anything else. Okay. Unless you're sitting there doing a ton of investigative work into different things that probably don't have any type of use. It's probably just one bullshit white paper after another. I wouldn't touch it. All right. How do you play this from a business perspective if you know cash is probably going to be trash? Okay. Open up a line of credit, have access to cash. When things get crazy, get ready to buy. Okay. I have a pretty nice size line of credit. Okay. For my business. And as soon as I think that Bitcoin is starting to bottom, I am going to use the entire thing on it. Is that responsible? Absolutely not. But I know the markets. What? What'd you say, Dave?
Depends who you ask.
Yeah. But no, I know the markets. I don't think it's a gamble. I think that's what's going to happen, right? And then that's where you turn 250 into 2.5. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so that's the type of stuff I think is at play right now. And so if you own a business, have access to a line of credit. If you need help, I can get you set up in 24 to 72 hours. That's number one. Number two, have cash on hand to make some of these moves. It's not a bad idea to start getting and acquiring hard assets, okay, as they're going down. And Dave asked me, well, would you start buying? Well, I'll tell you right now. Last night I bought heavy, okay, on one of the dips that I saw, okay, and I'm up pretty nice right now. I would also make sure that I'm doing weekly buys from here on out, okay. So whatever we always talk about having your savings and investing, whatever you have to go into investing, maybe it's 10% or 20%. I would be putting it all in those two right now on a weekly basis. Okay. That's how big of a move I think this is going to be. I don't think Bitcoin isn't going to fail. XRP isn't going to fail. This stuff is done by design. They're trying to shake everybody out. It's happened every cycle. Okay. This is where the money is made. All right. Same thing with gold and silver. Now, again, if you own a business, have the cash, have access to cash with a line of credit. Also, what are some of the other things you could do? Well, you can start loading up on materials. Why would I tell you to load up on materials? Well, if your materials right now, let's say you can get a month's worth of supply or materials for $10,000. All right. I think in the future, it's going to cost you 15 to 20 or maybe even 30,000 for a month worth of materials or supplies or inventory, whatever you want to call it, right? Mm-hmm. So if you know that this is coming, why wouldn't you want to load up on it now?
Right.
Okay. Especially if you are in a non-negotiable essential type of business. Here's what, and again, this is why I'm saying that. If you are retail and you serve poor middle class, I don't know if I would be doing that. Okay. If you are super high end, okay, where you cater to very wealthy people, I would be loading up. If it is a necessity type of position, so plumbing, electric, HVAC, okay, anything that people obviously need, no matter what, then yes, I would load up. I think that's the play, guys. Dave, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, and I think when I asked you in the beginning about like, hey, would you buy now? Like buy, like meaning like right now, right? Or then you and I talked about it. I think it's very good to strategically do it over time as well. Not like take that because you're going to take a gamble then too. Meaning, do you wait until it drops now, right? You know, so I think we got to come at it like you said every week, right? Do it a systematic approach because you're still going to compound it regardless. And I think a lot of people don't realize that or understand because, you know, it's going to and let me ask you this, man. Like, there's a lot of people. There's some high level people I see like posting about right now. Oh, this shit's a scam. Like I told you, it's going to bottom out. It's gonna not exist. Like, what are they seeing, right? Like, because I don't think it's going to bottom. Or I don't think it's not going to not exist.
I actually. So I want to. If you want to get super high level, it's absolutely not going to exist at a certain point. Okay. And the reason that is because technology is outpacing cybersecurity. Okay. And I spoke to a friend that's in cybersecurity, and I told him inside of 6 months of you thinking that we're at the point where um, Bitcoin is hackable, I need you to let me know. Okay, because now with quantum computing and AI and all these data centers, okay, our ability to get past certain cybersecurity is at an all-time high. Okay, what does that mean? Well, if they can crack into there and alter it, yeah, I mean it can all be gone.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't think that time is yet. Okay, I think you got 3 to 5 years, and I also think you have one more substantial run here. Okay, I'm talking where it goes from a low of maybe 40 or 50. This is just Bitcoin, a low of 40 or 50 to probably anywhere between 250 and 500. Okay, that's a pretty sizable move. All right, we're talking about potentially a 10x from where you're at. XRP, I see something similar. Not going as high, but I do think it could 10, maybe 20x from where you're at, right? And so what does this do? Well, you just traded in a bunch of cash. That cash isn't going to be worth too much in the future. And now you have this asset that's going to appreciate. And by the way, you could use that, okay, to open up a new business. You could use that to buy hard assets, okay, when the time is right. There's a lot of ways that you can play this. You just have to be really smart and really patient. All right. And then to Dave's point, like he asked when to buy, I would do two things right now. I would have weekly buys set up, okay, like we discussed. And anytime you see, a 5% drawdown, right, I would be buying heavy. Give you guys an example. Yesterday, I looked down, I saw it cracked 70. Okay. Well, cracked 70. It's been a minute since it's been down there, like over a year. So what did I do? I bought somewhat heavy. I went to my son's practice, right? Helped out. On the way home, I saw it hit 60. Okay. I bought 3 times more than what I bought at 67. Okay. This morning I woke up, it went from 60 to, I don't know, it's like 65 or 67. I think XRP was at like $1.10 or $1.12, and it's at $1.44, I think. All right. So these moves matter. Can you trade it real quick? Yeah, of course you can. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to buy, hold, build wealth. All right. It's a great game plan. I hope you guys adapt to it. Anything else, Dave?
No, just to touch on that, Bitcoin currently in real time, 66,853, XRP $1.41.
Yeah.
And silver.
So, dude, think about this. $10,000 in Bitcoin yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm at 14,000 today.
Nice. It's awesome.
Right. Now, I don't care about turning 10 into 14K. I care about turning 10,000 into $1 million.
Right.
At scale.
The big compound. Yep.
Correct.
And silver holding at 75.14.
Yeah.
Which that's still up anyway. If you think about it over the last month.
Dude, when we were telling people to buy silver and gold, do you remember what prices they were at? Because I can tell you where they were.
I think silver was at around $40, maybe 35.
Nope, wrong. I started buying silver between 18 and 22.
Okay. Gold. Oh, I was talking about this year, like when we were talking about the boom. I think it was like right around like 25 bucks.
Gold, I was telling people to buy between, I want to say 1,900 and 2,400. Okay. Had anyone started doing that, you'd be 3 to 5x on all your money. All right. So
yeah, the last time it was like almost 2 years ago for gold.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's how long we've been saying it.
Yeah, and it's almost 2.5x.
Yeah, and silver has depending on when you would have sold or if you kept, it's 3x. It could have been 5x because it hit 100.
Yeah.
All right. Those are massive moves, guys. All right. Anything else?
Nah, man. I think
Appreciate you guys. Share this with a couple of people that need to hear it, and we will catch you on Mindset Monday. Be great, y'all.